Welcome to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx as we get ready for Game 3 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox tonight trying to win this series and really looking at the schedule moving ahead, Jerry. The Red Sox can play spoilers against a lot of the teams they play coming up.
Well, certainly, Don, nobody wants to be in a situation the Red Sox are in right now. I mean, you're out of the thing. You've been out of it for a long time, and what you play for is your own personal pride. If you're a veteran on the club, you play hard so the rest of the players can see you doing that, and then you also play to try to spoil other teams from getting to the playoffs. As a team, that's what you want to try to do. And you can see right now the Yankees 4 games back of that second wild card spot. Sunday through Sunday, Toronto comes into town. They're still in this thing in the wild card situation. Monday, Wednesday versus Baltimore. They lead by 9.5 games. I think they're going to run away with this thing. And then you go to Kansas City. That's very interesting. They're a game and a half in first place right now in the Central Division. And, of course, Pittsburgh also still in a wild card spot. So there are plenty of teams that the Red Sox are playing the rest of the way where they can go out and make life miserable for some of these other ball clubs. But it comes down to personal pride, and as a club trying to make life miserable for these other teams. That's what it comes down to. It is what it is.
Well, the Red Sox would like to make life miserable again for tonight. The New York Yankees, as they took Game 1, dropped last night, trying to bounce back tonight. So is Mookie Betts. He was 0 for 4 last night, but he's had a great road trip. We'll come back and talk more about Mookie right after this. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The fans make their way into Yankee Stadium for Game 3 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Yankees. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, tonight we'll see Mookie Betts back in the 2 spot and in center field for Boston. This time up, he's not had to share time at all, of course, with Jackie Bradley Jr. going back to Pawtucket, and he's making good right now, getting used to playing every day in center field for Boston, especially on this road trip. On the current trip, 9 games, hitting at .306, 3 home runs so far on the trip one, showing some power and multiple hits in 4 of his last 6 games, but scoring some runs as well, 7 of them for Betts. Well, with more on Mookie Betts, we send it down to Gary Streisky. Gary?
Don, lately you can't go a game without noticing Mookie Betts either doing something phenomenal at the plate, whether it's hitting a home run, legging out a double or a triple, or defensively making a circus catch in center field, and he attributes it to something special. For Michael Jordan in his Bulls days, it was all about the sneakers. For Mookie, it's all about the chain, as he explains in our Geico quote of the day.
I wouldn't know. I don't know if it's superpowers or not, but what's funny is last year when I was in Salem, I have 2 of them. Well, not the same ones, but 2 gold chains, left another one at home. But last year I wore one, and then this one was the one we kind of just, I passed around to the team. Like, they all took turns. Had a couple guys, they were like 0 for 4, 0 for 8. There was like a 0 for 12 or something, and I gave him the chain, and that day he went 4 for 4, had a home run.
Now, the fact that Mookie Betts has a backup chain should say something in and of itself. And whether it's superstitious or not, or holds superpowers, listen, it's only weird if it doesn't work. And as of late, it's been doing nothing but working, Don.
All right, Gary, thanks very much. So it has been working as we take a look at the Red Sox lineup tonight. That Mookie Betts is in as the Red Sox try to win this series against the Yankees. Brock Holt leads it off at second base with Mookie Betts in center field batting second. David Ortiz, the DH, bats third with Yoenis Cespedes in left field in the cleanup spot. Mike Napoli at first base. Alan Craig in right field. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop bats seventh. Will Middlebrooks back in there at third base. He bats eighth. And Christian Vasquez does the catching and bats ninth. Tonight's Yankees starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. And former Red Sox pitcher Chris Capuano in a starting role with New York makes his 8th start of the year. 1-2 with a 4.01 earned run average. 41 strikeouts, 8 walks, and opponents hitting at .272 against Capuano. And last time out against Boston, he took the loss, went 6 1/3, giving up 4 runs against his old team.
The Yankees defense is brought to you by People's United Bank. They are 6th in the league. Chase Headley will be at third base. Derek Jeter, the shortstop. Stephen Drew at second. Mark Teixeira, the first baseman. Left to right, Brett Gardner, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Ichiro. And Brian McCann doing the catching for Chris Capuano.
Umpiring crew tonight, Todd Tichenor has a play calling the balls and strikes. Clint Fagan at first base. Tim Timmons at second base. And the crew chief is Tim Welke. Another beautiful night in New York. Been very fortunate in this series. 80 degrees. Breeze right to left at 9 miles per hour. In the forecast for more of the same the rest of the night, as the Red Sox wrap up their road trip and this series against the Yankees. Brock Holt standing in as Chris Capuano ready to work to the Red Sox. And the first pitch of the ball game is going to miss for ball 1, and we're underway. Brock Holt played at third base yesterday. It's second base tonight. And toting a 282 average coming in. 3 homers and 28 runs batted in. On the ground right side is Stephen Drew at second base. And Brock Holt is out number 1. Joe Girardi was asked before the game about the success of Chris Capuano in the starting role, and he really believes that it is because Capuano is more comfortable starting than he is relieving. Of course, we saw him as a reliever for the Red Sox. Started well, but then things went south for him. But he feels the success that he's enjoyed is because he's back to the role that he knows the best.
Yeah, 28 relief appearances while in a Red Sox uniform, and of course moved into the starting rotation here with the Yankees, mostly due to injuries.
Now Mookie Betts standing in with 1 out here in the first inning. That's at .273, 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. And a big night on Tuesday, game 1 of the series, going 3 for 5 with a home run. He was 0 for 4 last night. But a good road trip, 11 for 36 with 3 homers and 8 runs batted in. That'll take strike 1.
And those who remember Capuano in a Red Sox uniform, nothing overpowering, 88 to 90 with the fastball, the breaking ball, and the changeup.
There is strike 2 as he battles back to even the count.
Goes to the breaking ball, down and into Mookie Betts this time to pick up the second strike.
It'll bounce in for ball 3. Red Sox concluding their 10-game, 11-day road trip. Last game of the series here in the Bronx. Red Sox headed home tonight after the game, where they'll be home very briefly. 3 games against Toronto over the weekend, 3 games against Baltimore, and actually on the 6th day they'll be traveling out after a day game on Wednesday. Back out on another 3-city tour. 3-2 pitch foul back to the screen. Well, summer is winding down, but specially priced Red Sox tickets for students are still available for every Sox game. Tickets start at just $9. You go to redsox.com/student to take advantage of this great offer today. 1 down in the first inning. Mookie Betts in a battle up against Chris Capuano. Pitch 7 of the at-bat coming up. And it's on the ground. A lot of spin on it to Teixeira at first base. He'll take it himself. 2 down.
And that was the changeup that by Capuano that time. One thing he's done, he hasn't walked people. In his very first outing, first start with the Yankees, he walked 4. But since that time, it's been a total of 4 that he's walked in the remainder of his starts.
Now into the shift go the Yankees with Chase Headley, the third baseman, headed to the right side. Big Papi chasing 100 RBIs, has 95 on the year to get that 30 home run mark. There is the shift with Drew in short right field. And Ortiz taking a breaking ball for strike 1. Showed Bunton. Jeter had to race in from shortstop. To right field. Ichiro going back, looking around. It's gone. Into the first row of seats for Big Papi. Gets his 31st of the year. Red Sox on the board 1-0. From a bunt showing to a home run for Big Papi.
Yeah, and that ball didn't take very long to get out of here at all. A line shot home run. Very quickly over the head of Ichiro into the first couple of rows of the bleachers in right field.
So 1-0, Red Sox jumping out on top after Capuano recorded the first 2 outs here in the first inning. Yoenis Cespedes. He'll take strike 1. Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Visit alltown.com for an Alltown location near you. Cespedes down 0-2. 263, 21 home runs, 91 runs batted in. 4 for 9 in the series against New York. Jumps back out of the way of a pitch up and a little bit in. David Ortiz with his 43rd career home run against New York. Two balls, 2 strikes. For Capuano, that is the 8th overall home run that he's allowed this year. 5 have come with New York. On the ground, back to Capuano. Fields and flips underhanded for the out that ends the inning. Big Papi goes deep for the 31st time this year. Puts the Red Sox on top 1-0. Ortiz's home run. Let's check out the Red Sox. Actually, the Yankees starting lineup. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off in center field with Derek Jeter at shortstop batting second. Brett Gardner is in left batting third with Carlos Beltran, the DH, in the cleanup spot. Mark Teixeira at first base with Brian McCann doing the catching. Chase Headley at third base bats seventh. Stephen Drew at second base. And Ichiro Suzuki in right field bats ninth. Tonight's Red Sox starting pitcher presented by New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. 17th appearance, 13th start for Brandon Workman. He's 1-8 with a 4.93 earned run average. Ellsbury leading it off and swinging to the first pitch, popping it up. Left side of the infield, Xander Bogaerts puts it away for out number one.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are fourth in the American League with 78 errors on the season. Will Middlebrooks will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Brock Holt at second. And Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Yoenis Cespedes, Mookie Betts, and Alan Craig. Christian Vasquez doing the catching for Workman.
One down for Derek Jeter. 261, 3 homers and 37 runs batted in. Jeter will take strike one. .347 hits. Hits it in the air, opposite field and well. Craig going back onto the track to make the catch in front of the wall. Jeter gives it a ride to deep right, but Craig is back there for out number two.
Craig was quickly running out of territory as he goes to the 314 marker to make the catch. Opposite field going Derek Jeter with the fly ball, and watch Craig take a circular route to get to that ball and make the play up against the wall. Nice play by Craig.
Two down, Brett Gardner coming up here. 269, 16 homers, 56 runs batted in. Was ejected from game one, arguing balls and strikes in the first game. Back in there again last night. Set single season career highs in home runs with 16. Most he had previously was 8 last year. 56 RBIs. His previous high was 52. It was also last year. There's a base hit out to right center field. Betts will cut it off. Gardner's got good speed. He's thinking two. Throw going to second. He'll get there with a head first slide.
Gardner's had good success against Workman. He was 1 for 4 against him, and that one hit a home run coming into the game. Here he gets the fastball away and he hooks it in that gap between right center field and hustles it into a 2-base hit. So with 2 outs, the Yankees get a man in scoring position.
Two down, Gardner at second base and Carlos Beltran the batter. He'll take strike one.
Last time out for Workman. Workman went 3 1/3 innings, giving up 10 hits and 7 earned runs in a game against Seattle.
Called the ball. We're at the bottom of the zone. Workman wanted it. Loss against the Mariners. Just 3 1/3 innings. Only win at Baltimore back on June the 10th. In there for strike 1 and 2. That win against the O's, 6 2/3 of shutout pitching. 4 strikeouts, no walks. Off the end of the bat, foul. Well, fans, you can test your Red Sox IQ right now with the MLB Pre-Play mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Tonight, Pre-Play predicts Brandon Workman will go 5 2/3 innings, allow 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, and strike out 5. In the air to right field. Craig moving back. Makes the catch on the dirt of the track to end the first inning. 1-0 Boston. Dunkin' Donuts, your New England Nissan dealers. The Reebok Spartan Race run at Fenway Park November the 15th. By Subaru Dealers of New England. And by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Back at Yankee Stadium, Game 3 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and Yankees. Second inning, and Mike Napoli leading it off for Boston. Napoli will take strike 1. It's not been often that Napoli and Craig have been in the lineup at the same time, and tonight they are.
Yeah, that combination of Ortiz, Cespedes, Napoli, and Craig
certainly lengthens out your lineup a little bit more.
And one of the reasons for that is because Daniel Nava has been swinging the bat pretty well. And they just have been playing him because he has been doing that. Tonight they put Craig in the outfield and sit Nava.
And quite frankly, Craig has not been hitting very well. On the ground, shift on, a vacated right side, and it dribbles its way into right field. Mike Napoli with the leadoff base hit to begin the second inning.
That's something you might expect from Napoli with 2 strikes on him, but certainly not with the count in his favor, and still moves the ball to the opposite field to pick up the base hit. So Napoli, who was only 3 for 27 on this road trip, picks up the base hit with an inside-out swing. Nothing but open dirt on the right side.
2 hits off Capuano so far. Now Craig the batter. Let's take a look at our Chevy key player, Alan Craig, hitting at .571 with 4 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs against Capuano. That's one of the reasons he is in the lineup tonight. As Capuano is spending a lot of his career in the National League. For Craig, a 1-for-22 road trip. The average at 111. Home run, 2 runs batted in, and that home run coming as part of this trip. First as a member of the Red Sox on the 26th of August at Toronto. 2-run shot in the 11th inning at the Rogers Center. Up and in, 3-0. Now the catcher McCann out to talk to Capuano. Well, Saturday on Dining Playbook, catch up with Billy and Jenny at the Secaucus Winery. Find out where to eat in southern Rhode Island and hit the kitchen with former Celtic Dana Barros. That's Dining Playbook, Saturday at 9 a.m.
That's Secaucus. That's down in Tiverton, right?
Yes, I think general area,
Yeah.
South County. Lead runner on here with Craig ahead in the count, 3-0. And he'll take ball 4. So a single and a walk start the second inning for Boston. Xander Bogaerts coming up. Xander with a good long look down to Brian Butterfield, third base coach's box. As he gets the science here with 2 on, nobody out. Bogaerts with a big night Tuesday night, went 4 for 5 in the first game of the series with a home run.
I would let him swing away in this situation because you've got Middlebrooks who's struggling behind him, and then the number 9 hitter. So the way Bogaerts has swung the bat recently, I think I'd let him swing in this situation instead of bunt.
And he attempts a bunt, fouling it off.
I don't get it.
Doesn't make any sense. You're working towards the bottom of the order, especially with the guy coming up next who's really struggled.
Bogaerts 7 for his last 19, swinging the bat very, very well. Middlebrooks, we know what kind of night he had a couple of nights ago, just terrible. I mean, I just let Xander swing right here and try to get a big inning going.
Now they take it off and he fouls it off, down 0-2. Napoli single to begin the inning, a walk for Craig. Now Bogaerts down 0-2. In the air to right field, playable for Ichiro. Waiting out there for it to come down. For the first out of the inning, no advance for the base runners as Ichiro gets it back in quickly. 1 down. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, is the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Treat yourself or someone special. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 2 on, 1 away, and here's Will Middlebrooks. And last night off after a very difficult first game of the series, was 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Average down to 183, 2 homers and 16 runs batted in. Off the plate, foul. Napoli at second, Craig at first, 1 down here in the second inning. Line foul, and Middlebrooks down 0-2. 4 for 33 on the road trip is Middlebrooks. A beautiful night tonight in the Bronx. Weather has been great in this series. Middlebrooks strikes out for the second out here of the second inning.
Change up that time, fooling Middlebrooks, and the changeup was well outside, off the outside part of the plate. Chasing a bad pitch right there for the strikeout.
So 2 down in the inning. Christian Vasquez, the batter. Catcher at 224. No homers and 13 runs batted in. Drop in there for strike one to Vasquez. Vasquez 5 for 21 on the trip and 1 for 3 so far in the series. David Ross also with a start in this series. Little number in front of the plate. Out jumps McCann. He's got to throw over his shoulder, and he does for the out. Well, it started as a promising inning, but the Red Sox don't score. It's 1-0 Boston.
Off tonight, the new Scion TC bringing us our poll. Since the NFL kicks off tonight, which team will win the Super Bowl in 17 or so weeks? Sox 1 for the Denver Broncos, Sox 2 the New England Patriots, Sox 3 the Seattle Seahawks, or Sox 4 the Field, another team. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates, those may apply. Text help if you need it. Visit NESN.com/terms for all that fun legal stuff. Guys, I got a question. Do you play fantasy football?
I do not. Jerry?
No.
I had a feeling. 1-0 Red Sox have the lead.
To you, Gary.
Big time fantasy guy.
I had a feeling about that too. There's a ground ball down the first baseline. It is a fair ball. And Teixeira retired. Napoli applies the tag. Right off the line and fair. So Teixeira retired, shaking his head as he heads back to the dugout.
I like to focus on one game. You know, like I want to watch the Patriots every time they're on. I don't want to be thinking about what some other guy's doing in some other game, and I don't understand it all.
Right.
I don't get it all. You know, and I don't want to be. I just wanted the Patriots to win.
You don't want to be burdened with all that.
No.
Having to figure out what somebody's doing in St. Louis or somewhere else.
I don't care unless they're playing the Patriots.
One out for Brian McCann. He'll take strike one. 244 with 17 homers, 61 runs batted in. Red Sox in the shift on the right side on McCann. And he lines it foul. Did you know Fenway Park hosts more than just Red Sox games, sporting events, and concerts? Fenway Park has a variety of unique spaces to host your next holiday party, meeting, or special family event. Visit redsox.com/events or call 617-226-6791 to book your Fenway event today. Mookie Betts will track this down for out number 2.
When you're picking a fantasy football team, right? Do you pick any linemen on it?
I have no idea. I really don't.
I don't either. I mean,
I emceed the Red Sox draft a couple years in a row, and I don't remember any linemen going whatsoever.
So it's all
it was all offense and defense. I don't think
it's
there
a
were any
negative
linemen.
on the offensive lineman,
Yes.
but if you're playing an IDP, which is individual defensive players, then you can draft defensive linemen, but that'd be frowned upon if it's anything in between like rounds 1 through 10.
Like sacks and stuff?
Yeah, like J.J. Watt, he would be like the first D lineman off the board. You know, if you're playing like an intense league like that.
Do you play in intense leagues?
I do not play in the intense leagues. I play in the strictly offense leagues.
All right. So we learned a little bit of something there.
poor linemen. You know, they
they never get any credit.
get beat up week after week, and they're not even in fantasy football.
How do you quantify what they do?
I don't know. Blocks, tackles. If you're on defense, I don't know.
No, on defense I get, but I'm talking about offense.
I don't know. Good blocks, protecting the passer. How many times the guy gets sacked, doesn't get sacked? I don't know. I have no idea.
2 down here in the second inning. Chase Headley, 256, 3 homers, and 11 runs batted in. Swing and a miss, and a good inning for Brandon Workman. 1-2-3 Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. record by hitting 8 home runs at home in a 20-4 win over the Tigers. Of the 8, David Ortiz hit 2. Will Middlebrooks had a grand slam. Ortiz also collected his 2,000th career hit. Night for the Red Sox a year ago. Well, tonight out to a 1-0 advantage in Yankee Stadium as the Sox come to bat here in the top half of the 3rd inning, and it's the top of their order. Holt to lead it off. Holt grounded out to second base in the 1st inning, 0 for 1. Red Sox have 2 hits, home run by David Ortiz, solo shot in the 1st, leadoff single to right by Mike Napoli in the 2nd inning. To center field, Ellsbury going back, still going, but he'll make the catch on a late lunge. Nice grab by Ellsbury. That carried a little further than I think he first thought. Kind of gliding in the beginning, but he gets back to make the catch on Holt.
Yeah, great play by Ellsbury. I agree with you, Don. I don't think he thought that this ball was going to go as deep as it did. Looked like he got a late jump on it and then made up the difference with his speed. Looks it right into the webbing of the glove and goes crashing to the ground. Nice play by Jacoby Ellsbury.
One down here in the 3rd inning. Mookie Betts coming up. That's grounding out to Mark Teixeira at first base in the 1st inning, 0 for 1. That's now 3 for 10 in the series against New York. A little bit low, 2-0. David Ortiz on deck, 1 down here in the Boston 3rd inning. In there for a strike. Red Sox have been patient, and that is no different. The Red Sox lead the majors with 4.05 pitches seen per plate appearance. They are 1st in that category. Minnesota's 2nd.
In the beginning of the season, we thought that was all out the window, remember?
Yes, well, that's because you had AJ batting every 4 times a game. But Mike Napoli tops Major League Baseball with 4.48 pitches per plate appearance this season. It'll be the 2nd straight year if he finishes up the year leading that category that he's led in that category. Last year 4.58 per plate appearance. He'll be the first player to lead the majors in consecutive years since Bobby Abreu did so in 04 and 05. '40th pitch for Capuano. And Betts swinging it back up the middle into center field. A base hit. 3rd hit of the night for Boston. The 1st hit for Mookie Betts. Well, hey, Red Sox Nation, get a free medium beverage when you enroll in the Dunkin' Donuts rewards program, DD Perks. And just pay with your registered DD card or the DD mobile app to earn points towards more free beverages. It's Dunkin's way of rewarding their loyal fans. Enroll today at ddperks.com. Red Sox run on Dunkin'. 1 out, 1 on. David Ortiz, the battery, homered. Back in the 1st inning, his 31st home run of the year. Over to first base, but Betts back to the bag.
That's with 4 steals on the season. Been caught 1 time.
Ortiz to deep right again. Ichiro going back, looking up, and it is gone again. This one even deeper and further, and it's a 2-run shot that puts the Red Sox on top 3-0. Home run number 32 of the year for Big Papi.
Well, if you got Ortiz in fantasy baseball tonight, you're doing good. Breaking ball away, and he hooks it deeper than the first one he hit. The first one was more of a line drive. This one more of a fly ball for a home run.
'46th career multi-home run game for Big Papi. Now Cespedes hits it high in the air to left field. Brett Gardner will have room. And he'll make the catch of the second out of the third inning. 2 down. Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Visit alltown.com for an Alltown location near you. Ortiz feeling it tonight. Solo shot in the first, 2-run shot here in the third. Now Mike Napoli, who singled in the second inning. Second look at Capuano as he takes strike one. Napoli, who does strike out quite a bit, also walks quite a bit since the start of 2013. Tied for 5th in the American League with 145 walks during that time. Last 2 seasons. He'll take strike 2.
Has 72 walks for him this season, 126 strikeouts to this point.
Not shifting on Napoli. To left on a line and in for a base hit. Napoli is 2 for 2. And aboard here with 2 down in the top of the third inning.
Now Napoli, who's had a tough road trip, we gave you the numbers earlier, 3 for 27, but 2 hits in this one, back-to-back singles. Goes down and gets a breaking ball that is down and almost out of the strike zone, and drops it in front of Brett Gardner in left field for the base hit.
So Napoli at first base, held on by Teixeira. 2 down for Alan Craig. Walked in the second inning. In there for a strike, 1-1. Capuano trying to find his bearings after the 2-run home run by David Ortiz. Lefty-lefty matchup that tonight has favorited Ortiz. Two and one. Back now for Ortiz, that is his 10th and 11th home runs off lefties this year. Of the 32 home runs he has now hit. Strike called, 2-2. Ortiz, his first multi-home run game against the Yankees since 2005. And the first time he's had 32 home runs since 2010. Inside to Craig. And it's a full count. Xander Bogaerts on deck. 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. 2 runs in. Napoli at first base. Fouled off, and we'll do it again. Tune in to Red Sox Friday Night Fenway, presented by Budweiser, tomorrow at 5:30. Be sure to visit Sweet Caroline's for every Red Sox game in September. Fans 21 and over can participate. Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Three-two pitch, grounded foul. Holt flying out to center to begin the inning. Betts with his single. Ortiz the 2-run home run. Cespedes flying out to left. Napoli with a single to left. So 2 outs, a runner at first. And there's strike 3. Craig takes it to end the inning. Well, David Ortiz hit a solo shot in the first. He's added a 2-run home run in the 3rd. The Red Sox lead at 3-0. The press room here at Yankee Stadium, I think, is the largest press room across the league, and this is where Joe Girardi holds his press conference every day, as does the visiting manager coming in, John Farrell. But this was in preparation of Joe Girardi's today, and it's held every day before every game for the media. Contingent larger here in New York than most places.
Yeah, most places the manager will have it either in his office or in the dugout, but they have the media room here in New York because there's so much media covering the Yankees.
Stephen Drew leading it off in the bottom of the third inning. .164 average coming in for Drew. His combined numbers between Boston and New York. Workman had a good second inning, getting to Sharon, McCann, and Headley in order. In there for strike two. One of the question marks about Workman the last few starts, a few times up, has been his velocity and how it has kind of tailed off at times.
Yeah, it looks like tonight it's pretty decent here right at the beginning of the game. See if he can maintain it throughout the course of the game. Fastball at 91, that's where he's been operating at, 91, 92.
Fly ball down the left field line. Cespedes got a long way to go, but he's going to have time to get over there and make the catch for the first out of the inning. Started in left center, gets over there to make the grab for the first out. It's 5 in a row. Retired by Workman. Well, Sunday, catch an all-new episode of Nesson Clubhouse, where kids run the show. What it's like to be a Sox sideline reporter. You'll find out. Also show you the best Fenway jobs, plus learn how to throw a knuckleball and how the Sox stretch before a game. Don't miss Nesson Clubhouse live and commercial-free Sunday at noon. One out for Ichiro. Takes a pitch outside. By the dive of Middlebrooks, who is in on the grass at third into left. And Ichiro aboard with that slap hit. Second hit allowed by Workman in the game. Let's take a look at the list brought to you by Benjamin Moore, oldest players in the majors. Ichiro checking in at 40 years old. He'll turn 41 in October. Jason Giambi at 43 first. Raul Ibanez at 42. Troy Hawkins, Bartolo Colon, of course, Derek Jeter is 40 years of age. If you have a comment about tonight's list, tweet us at #NessonList. One out, one on. And Jacoby Ellsbury, the batter. Popped out to the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts, in the first inning, 0 for 1.
When you look at last night's starter and tonight's, Workman and Renato, they a little bit similar in their fastball velocity, location-wise. They both throw curveballs. They both throw change-ups.
Falls behind Ellsbury, 2-0. Jacoby a little more selective this time. He popped out on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. Anthony Renato last night taking the loss here against New York. 3-0. Ichiro, the good sized lead at first base. As a strike picks up the outside corner.
Ichiro does have 11 steals this season. Been caught a couple of times.
Did he go? No. This is Tim Welke. Ball 4. First walk allowed by Workman. And the Yankees have 2 on with 1 out here in the third inning. Workman got Drew to fly out. Ichiro singles. Ellsbury walks. Now Derek Jeter right out to the warning track in right field in the first inning. Ball that Alan Craig caught right in front of the fence in right. Chopped off the plate down the third baseline. Middlebrooks let it go foul and picked it up quickly. Almost changed direction on him.
And it looked like that ball was going to kick back into fair territory, and that would have been a base hit. Don't see that very often. Watch the ball bounce, and it looks like it hit the grass and was coming back into fair territory. That would have been a bases loaded situation.
Ichiro at second, Ellsbury at first base, one out here in the third. Red Sox on top 3-0, but the Yankees making some noise here in the third inning. One and one. Only 20 runs of support this year and 12 starts for Workman. Just 2.70 runs per game. He's got some support tonight. To center field. Mookie Betts was shallow going back, and it's going to be over his head. Ichiro's coming around. Ellsbury behind him. This will score 2 runs. A double for Jeter, and it's a 1-run game.
Now the Red Sox outfield, they play very shallow against Jeter. He doesn't hit the ball hard as often as he used to, but this time he crushes one over the head of Mookie Betts. You can see where Betts is playing very shallow against Jeter. No chance to catch up to that. With the speed on the bases, 2 runs come across, and it's a 1-run ball game. That's 2 balls tonight that Jeter did pretty well. One to the opposite field, and this one to center field.
Now Brett Gardner, the batter. He'll take it down and in. Gardner doubled in the first inning. The Sox had a 3-0 lead. It's now 3-2. Strike call. Generous call there. 1-1.
Mixing in a changeup that time was Workman. And did get a very generous call.
Another strike call, and it's 1-2.
And another questionable call there. Another changeup. Gardner just shaking his head.
He's already been chased in this series once for arguing balls and strikes. '40th pitch for Workman. In the dirt, and it's 2-2. Carlos Beltran waiting on deck, still just 1 out in the inning. In there for strike 3. Gardner spins out of the box, takes with him Second strikeout for Brandon Workman.
And not much question about that one. That was a good curveball from Workman. A little bit high in the zone, but fooled Gardner as he takes it all away.
Two down, big strikeout there for Workman, and it brings up Carlos Beltran. Flight out to the warning track in right field in the first inning. Outside for ball one. Derek Jeter has driven in 2 runs here in the third inning, and now 12 RBIs against the Red Sox this season. 12 of the 39 RBIs he has. Fouled straight back, 1-1. Well, tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Abood, custom made in the USA from fine Italian fabrics. Now available at Men's Warehouse. Ichiro got it all started with a base hit to left. Outside for ball 2. Center fielder Mookie Betts over towards right center, much deeper here on Beltran, certainly than he was on Jeter. And a ground ball that is going to get by the dive of Holt. Here comes Derek Jeter around to score the game tying run. It's 3-3. Carlos Beltran drives it in.
Beltran goes to the right of Brock Holt at second base. Top spin ground ball. Quickly gets by, and Jeter scores the tying run. Like a straight fastball that time from Workman. That Beltran's able to pull.
Now Mark Teixeira, Red Sox into the shift on the right side. And a big swing and a miss for Teixeira. Middlebrooks coming to the right side from third base. Holt well into right field. Down the line and right, but foul. Teixeira down 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Teixeira strikes out to end the inning. But the Yankees put a 3 spot on the board here in the bottom of the third to tie it at 3. economy and community strong. That's why they've been named the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts 5 years in a row. Eastern Bank, here, your first. Beautiful weather in New York. Brandon Workman had a 3-0 lead. It's gone. It's 3-3 as we venture into the 4th inning. And Xander Bogaerts leads it off here in the Red Sox 4th. Well, Middlebrook's Christian Vazquez coming up. Capuano deals with ball 1. Bogaerts flat out to right field, and Ichiro in the 2nd inning. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Red Sox with 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors now for New York as Bogaerts takes strike 2. Capuano with a fresh start now after giving up 2 different home runs to the same guy, David Ortiz. Solo shot in the first, 2-run shot in the 3rd. But it's even now. 2-2. Popped up foul off to the right out of play. Well, as we all know, a happy staff equals a productive staff. There's no better way to show your employees a good time than treating them to a night at Fenway Park. Go to redsox.com/groups to book your company outing now. Middlebrooks waiting on deck. Red Sox batting in the visiting half of the 4th inning. To center field. Ellsbury back a step or 2 for the first out of the inning. Send it down to Gary.
Guys, I know it's been kind of strange the past 5 games not seeing Dustin Pedroia in that starting lineup, rather just seeing him, in that dugout watching the game as a spectator. But the light is at the end of the tunnel, according to John Farrell. Of course, Pedroia going through a battery of tests recovering from that concussion. But tomorrow, all he has to do is clear 1 more test from an MLB doctor, and John Farrell fully expects him to be in the lineup tomorrow night. So that's good news, of course.
It'd be great to have Dustin back again. Clearing all the hurdles to get back and all the tests along the way. It's a great thing the Major League Baseball does now. Making sure the player is 100% before he gets back on the field again as far as the concussion goes. No lingering effects. Well, Middlebrooks a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. In there for a strike, 2-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
There's been some talk over the last couple of days about the possibility of Middlebrooks playing winter ball. The Red Sox organization and John Farrell would like him to do that.
What do you think? Good idea?
Well, when you've had back-to-back years like Will has had, and he hasn't been the same since he got hit in the hand. Remember the...
This is the 3rd. It eats up Headley. Time to recover, and he does to get Middlebrooks.
I believe it was in Cleveland where he got hit in the hand. He really hasn't been the same since that, and he's had limited amount of at-bats. It might not be the worst idea to go down, get hooked up with a ball club, see quality pitching down in winter ball, and get some at-bats under his belt.
Yeah, that's the key. He's really had the equivalent of one season the last 2 seasons as far as at bats go. And maybe that'll help him try to figure it out as well. Maybe he figures it out during winter ball, but so far there's been no word as to whether or not he's accepted the assignment to winter ball. Vasquez takes strike 1. The number in front of the plate, his counterpart Brian McCann threw him out in the 2nd inning. Fly ball to right field. Ichiro back with the room to put it away and to end the top of the 4th inning. 3.5 done. Game tied 3-3. That make your life easier to people who care about your community. Eastern Bank is committed to putting you first. Learn all the ways Eastern puts you first at easternbank.com. Outside the new Yankee Stadium. Dustin Pedroia back tomorrow night, hopefully with the Red Sox, clearing that last test tomorrow for Major League Baseball. 3-3 the score as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning, and Brian McCann leads it off for New York. McCann, Headley, and Drew to face Workman. McCann flied out to center field in the 2nd inning. In the air, popped up, shallow right center. Middlebrooks going out, and he'll make the catch. The Red Sox third baseman into right center. You talk about unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, that's going in a strange direction there. That's like going down the foul line in foul territory for Middlebrooks. But he's able to make the catch in front of Mookie Betts. Takes a look up, and he's got a long way to go. They look a little different, the pop-ups from over there.
Will still on the right side of the infield. They stay in the shift here on Headley. Takes a ball 1-1 to the Yankees third baseman. Holt in right field. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Workman's had a good curveball in this game tonight.
Do you agree that's his best pitch?
Yeah, I do. I really do. It's got a good bite to it. Kind of a 12-6 curveball.
On the ground towards first base. Napoli will tag the bag. 2 down. Well, tomorrow on NESN Live, presented by Cross Insurance, Sarah Davis and L. Duncan will preview the Patriots opener in Miami. Have a live report from Portland for Rusney Castillo's game with the Sea Dogs. That's tomorrow at 5 p.m. on NESN.
I wonder if Rusney Castillo knows he's getting as much attention as he's getting.
He has to know.
You think so?
I think so. Especially when he gets to Portland and you're not used to having that many media members around. All of a sudden, postseason is a big deal this year in Double-A. It is good that he has places to play. There are enough minor league teams for the Red Sox in the postseason between Portland and Pawtucket. Glad to have a guy like that come into the postseason. All of a sudden, you get this guy that nobody knows about. Would love to have had that in the years at postseason games in AAA.
The fact that nobody knows anything about him, huh?
Right. Shows up. He's going to be a big star.
Well, we don't know that.
Throw him in your lineup.
Yeah,
right there.
That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid,
Well, we know this. He's going to be here a long time.
Yeah, he's going to make a lot of
and
money.
He's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah. That we do know.
We'll find out about the rest.
It all comes in time.
2-1 pitch. That'll miss. 3-1 the count. Not by a lot. Could have been called a strike. Full count now. Think about the guys over the years you've been excited about. Robinson Chaco is a name. Remember Robinson Chaco? The excitement wrapped around Robinson Chaco?
Yeah.
Didn't work out that well. Hoping that this works out much better. As Drew down to first base with a 2-out walk.
I don't know what it is. I think it's because of the proximity of all our minor league teams to the city of Boston that we seem to make an awful lot out of minor league players at a very early, it's starting in Double-A.
Very early, because people are seeing them in Lowell, like right out of the gate.
Exactly, right out of college, right out of high school in Lowell.
But I think it's a great thing that the Red Sox have their minor league system right here.
Sure.
And I think it's great for the minor league affiliates, too, that the names are so recognizable coming up through the system. Everybody get a chance to see them at A-ball, Double-A, and Triple-A, all in New England as this one fouled off.
I think it puts a lot of pressure on the players, though.
No, there's no doubt about that.
I think you've seen that firsthand at the Triple-A level when you were still back in the minor leagues.
And it's tough when guys come down, like Will Middlebrook's case an example. You come back from Boston, everybody knows why you're there.
Right.
And Pawtucket now all of a sudden, and now all these people are watching you in Pawtucket. They're well aware that things did not go well in Boston, and there is a lot of pressure on those guys. This one fouled off to the left. But it does help to have your AAA team so close. No doubt about that. How many times I've seen guys called up day of game?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're able to get there on a heartbeat. And it doesn't take them long to come up 95. A little longer after you hit the Braintree split. It takes a little while.
I know that. I do it every day. There's strike three to Ichiro Suzuki. Workman battles back. It's a good fourth inning. It's 3-3 through 4. veteran Lexus dealers. 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs so far. A walk and 2 Ks. Allowed a solo home run to David Ortiz in the first and a 2-run shot. Big Poppy in the 3rd inning. It's on to the 5th. And the top of the Red Sox order, Brock Holt to lead it off. Holt, Betts, and Ortiz again. Brock 0 for 2. He is grounded out to second base and flied out to center. High ball 2-2-0. And there for a strike, 2-1. It's Capuano. He's retired the last 4 Red Sox in a row, fresh off his 1-2-3 4th inning of the bottom 3rd of the Red Sox order. Holt to right field. Ichiro moving back to the track, leaps, and that ball is up off the top of the wall and gone. Home run for Brock Holt. His 4th home run of the year. Ichiro looked like he was going to get it timed, but can't bring it down, and the Red Sox take a 4-3 lead on their 3rd home run of the night.
And if you're a left-handed hitter, that's exactly where you want the breaking ball. They make a mistake, they leave it inside. You see the catch is set up outside McCann. They leave the breaking ball in, and that's right into the power of Holt. Nice effort here by Ichiro as he goes up just over his glove off the top of the wall and into the stands.
Now Mookie Betts. He'll take ball 1. And Brock Holt, his 4th home run of the year after an 0 for 2 showing here tonight. Last home run for Brock Holt, you got to go back to July the 13th in Houston. 189 at bats in between home runs. Inside for ball 2. So the 3rd home run given up by Capuano tonight. Yankees now have double-barreled action in their pen. 75th pitch, a curveball. It's in there for strike 2. Ismael Rogers along with Rich Hill in the pen. Left side, softly hit. Headley on the run, and just in time to get Mookie Betts. First out of the inning. Well, Big Poppy coming up. He's already had a big night with 2 outs, nobody on in the first. He hit his 31st home run of the year. Solo shot on a line drive to right. More of a fly ball home run in the 3rd inning with a runner at first and 1 out. His 32nd home run of the year, 2nd of the night. And at the time, put Boston on top 3-0. It's 4-3 now, but Capuano will not face Ortiz a 3rd time. The pitching change from New York with Boston on top now. Of Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup packs will keep you running and guarantees to satisfy any fan base. Ordered by 11:30 a.m. Get free same-day delivery. Who but W.B. Mason? 4-3. Red Sox on top of the Yankees. Derek Jeter, Brian Butterfield is an instructor in the minor leagues with the Yankees as they reunited in between the pitching change here as David Ortiz, one out, bases empty. This call to the bullpen brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers. The Red Sox left-hander Rich Hill into the game here for New York. 10th appearance between LA and New York. 3.00 earned run average. 4 Ks, 4 walks. Second appearance of the series. Ortiz fouls it off himself, and of course injured himself in Tampa Bay, fouling a pitch off down by the shoe tops. They've done it again.
Right foot this time, I believe. Hits on top of the fastball and gets him on the side of the right foot.
Outside for ball 2. So Chris Capuano chased from this game after 4 1/3, 6 hits, 4 runs. Walked a batter, struck out 2. And departs on the hook at the moment, thanks to the home run by Brock Holt that begins this top of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
You get a little different look from Rich Hill than you did from Capuano. He drops down to the side much more, and that breaking ball becomes a lot bigger. That one really moving away from David Ortiz.
Ortiz strikes out, and there are 2 outs here in the 5th as 1 and done for Rich Hill. Able to get the man he came in to get. And plenty of relievers out in the bullpen for Joe Girardi. It's 4-3 Red Sox. By Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Back in New York City, 4-3. Red Sox have the lead over the Yankees. Still in the midst of the top of the 5th inning, on to the 3rd pitcher of the inning. Ismael Rogers checks in, 25th appearance. 2-0 to 5.11 earned run average. 38 strikeouts to 11 walks. Opponent's hitting at 273 against a right-hander. Rich Hill get his job done. Struck out David Ortiz, second out of the inning. Now Yoenis Cespedes gets his 3rd at bat of the night. Cespedes grounded back to the mound in the 1st, flied out to left in the 3rd. Fly ball to left field, sending Gardner back. He's there and makes the catch and ends the inning. Brock Holt with a home run, his 4th of the year, puts the Red Sox on top 4-3. Fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag Nesson Fan Photo for a chance to be shown in our broadcast, brought to you by AT&T. Tonight's fan photo is from Nancy B., who's Cat Finnegan. She's a big fan of Big Poppy.
That looks like Little Poppy.
Brock Holt with a home run has given the Red Sox 4-3 lead. Red Sox using the long ball in this game 3 times as Jacoby Ellsbury hits a fly ball shallow center. Betts went the wrong way at first, and it's going to be caught by Holt. Brock Holt out there to make the catch. Betts went back on the swing, ended up in shallow center, and Brock Holt gets out there to make the catch.
You talk about courage of Brock Holt on this play, going between 2 other guys, Bogaerts, and he doesn't know if he's going to get clipped by Bogaerts or Betts coming in, and still able to make the catch. What a play by Holt. Problem for Betts is that ball was right at the end of the bat. It was a changeup at the end of the bat. That's what froze him in center field. And then Holt did the rest.
One down here in the bottom of the 5th inning brings up Derek Jeter. Flied out to the warning track and right in the 1st, then double to drive in a pair of runs in the 3rd inning. And he would score the tying run at the time. Pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 4 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Jeter fouls it off down the right field line, out of play. Well, stay tuned tonight following WB Mason Extra Innings Live, a Red Sox Final presented by Esurance. Send your questions to TC at #SoxFinal. Maybe yours will be answered on Red Sox Final presented by Esurance. On the ground to Middlebrooks at third base. Throws out Jeter, 2 down in the 5th inning. Brett Gardner coming up. Gardner with a double in the 1st inning, struck out looking in the 3rd. Ellsbury have kind of switched spots in the order. Gardner did a lot of leading off. Ellsbury batting 3rd earlier this year. Gardner with the most home runs, most RBIs he's had in his career in a single season. Little number in front of the plate as Workman will fire to first in time to get the speedy Gardner and to end the 5th inning. Some good defense turned in by the Red Sox second baseman Brock Holt. It's 4-3 Red Sox. Pitchers, Allen Webster in 7 starts, 3-3 with a 6.69 earned run average. He'll be matched up against Drew Hutchison. Only 7 starts, 9-11 with a 4.47 ERA. Red Sox and Jays from Fenway Park. Closer Look is brought to you by FW Web. For an even closer look, visit FWWeb.com. So it's the 6th inning, and it's 4-3 Boston on top of New York. Mike Napoli, Alan Craig, Xander Bogaerts, Ismael Rogers back out on the mound for New York. Got the final out of the 5th. Swing and a miss. 94 on the fastball. 8th relief appearance for Rogers with the Yankees, his 24th overall. Claimed off waivers by the Yankees. from the Blue Jays July the 31st. And 16 relief outings over 2 different stints with Toronto this year. A 6.97 earned run average with the Jays. Also saw time at AAA Buffalo. We had a 3.14 ERA. Who's starting games in Buffalo. The fastball inside, 3-1. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 donation once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Napoli, then Craig and Bogaerts to bat here in the Boston 6th inning. Fly ball, shallow center field. In comes Ellsbury for the first out of the 6th inning.
First time they've been able to get Napoli tonight. 2 singles coming into that at bat. Runs the fastball back in his hands, and the fly ball to Jacoby Ellsbury.
One down here in the 6th inning. Alan Craig, the batter. Walk and a strikeout. Chris Capuano started this game for New York. He is currently on the hook. 4 1/3, 6 hits, 4 runs. Walked the batter, struck out 2. We saw Rich Hill brought in by Joe Girardi. Base 1 batter David Ortiz. He struck him out. Now Ismael Rogers. 1 down in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Still pretty live fastball for Ismael Rogers. 95 miles an hour that time on the outside part of the plate to Craig. Always did have a very good arm, but has not consistently pitched at the major league level.
Wildness has been an issue at times. Was fracturing Middlebrooks' hand in Cleveland a couple years ago, and they got a bit of a dust up again at the AAA level. Buffalo and Pawtucket played earlier this season. He was down for Toronto. This is on the ground to short. Derek Jeter to his left. Craig is out number 2. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation. From the Jimmy Fund to the Red Sox Scholars to RBI to Dimmick to the Home Base Program. The foundation is supporting charities or running away winning programs to help families of New England.
Running away? That's a tough one to say.
Wait a minute. 2 down here in the inning. I'm going to read this again.
That's a tough one to read. It really is.
What does it mean?
I don't know.
Foundation is supporting charities or running away winning. Oh, I see what it's saying. The foundation is supporting charities or running away winning programs. Maybe award. I think it's supposed to be award winning, not running. Nobody's running away. All right. So that was another promo.
Yeah. I only got a few more left. 53.
2 down for Xander Bogaerts. Lined and caught in the air by Stephen Drew to end the top of the 6th inning. 5.5 done, 4-3 Boston. Like New Englanders, Avery weatherproof labels from W.B. Mason are built to withstand the extreme elements. Avoid Mother Nature's smudges and smears and trust only Avery labels with your most essential shipments. From who but W.B. Mason? 4-3, Red Sox have the lead over the Yankees. Into the bottom of the 6th inning, Carlos Beltran, Mark Teixeira, and Brian McCann. Fly ball down the left field line, foul. Beltran flying out to the warning track. Right field in the first. Single to right to drive in a run in the third.
There's a good curveball again from Workman. As I mentioned earlier, very good one tonight. Good spin to it. For the most part, being able to keep it down in the zone.
Popped up. Middlebrooks now moving into foul ground to make the catch. One out here in the 6th inning brings up Mark Teixeira. Rounded out first in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 3rd. In there for strike one, 2-1. Workman's gone 5 1/3 so far, retired the last 5 in a row. As Teixeira sprays it foul off to the left. Don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Men's Warehouse, proudly introducing Joseph Aboud. TC and Wake will preview Alan Webster's start in Game 1 of the Toronto series. It's tomorrow at 6 p.m. on Nesson. Grounder foul. Line foul. Hard into the seats. It's a piece. Still 2-2. Red Sox led at 3-0. Yankees tied at 3-3. Added a run in the 5th. And Boston on top right now, 4-3. As Teixeira grounds one, the shift on left side. Bogarts bare hands and throws late, and not there to jump in the air to reel that in. Infield hit for Mark Teixeira.
Now there's a case where Workman makes a very good pitch, a fastball that's inside, jams Teixeira, and Teixeira just muscles that ball off to the shortstop side where they have the shift on. That's a good pitch. Just hitting a bad location for the Red Sox. Bogarts trying to make the off balance sort of first base, but not even close to being in time.
1 out, 1 on. Brian McCann, the batter. He is flied out to center, popped out to third, 0 for 2. Action for New York. Sean Kelly is up. Already seen Rich Hill and Ismail Rogers. Fly ball foul off to the left. Red Sox have action of their own. Tommy Lane, the left-hander, up in the pen.
Of the 3 games of the series, tonight seems to be the biggest crowd of the 3 games that we have played. Good sized crowd tonight here in Yankee Stadium.
Two balls, 2 strikes to McCann. Drops in for strike 3. Good pitch from Workman. 5th strikeout for Workman. 2 down.
Well, that's the curveball I've been talking about. And when you look at his strikeouts tonight, 4 of the 5 have been on the curveball. That's just a tremendous break right there by Workman.
EQ Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 down in the 6th inning. Mark Teixeira at first base. Chase Headley, the batter, 0 for 2. He struck out swinging, grounded out to first base. defensive swing and a ball running in. He flips it foul.
Good pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. Get in there and jam. Fastball running in the hands.
Line down the right field line, a foul ball. Well, don't miss the excitement of the Bruins and Celtics this season. Single game suites are now available, accommodating 18 to 60 fans. Suites are the ideal spot to catch a game with a group and feature in-suite catering options and more. Visit tdgarden.com/suite rentals or call 617-624-1847. Fouled off to the left, still 0-2. Headley battles on here. Stephen Drew. On deck with 2 down, a runner at first base here for New York. In the dirt, smothered by Vasquez. Fifth pitch for Workman, and it's on the ground up the middle, but there to grab it is Middlebrooks on the right side of the shift. We played 6-4-3 to Red Sox. The season's end with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone or tablet. Get live look-ins, replay reviews, scores, stats, live radio broadcasts, MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download at bat on the App Store or visit RedSox.com/mobile today. Brandon Workman through 6 innings tonight has a 4-3 lead. As the Red Sox come to bat, Rogers back on the mound again for New York. He's gone an inning and a third of relief so far. And he will face Will Middlebrooks here to begin things in the 7th inning. In there for strike one. Struck out in the second, grounded out to third base in the fourth inning. Brooks fouls this one back, 1-2. 94 on the fastball from Rogers.
Seen the fastball, we've seen the slider. We haven't seen a split yet from Rogers.
Two balls, two strikes to Middlebrooks. Will be followed by Vasquez and Holt in the inning. Six in a row retired by Yankees pitching. And they've retired 11 of the last 12 Red Sox. Full count now.
Rogers again going with that slider, trying to keep it away from Middlebrooks, just missing the outside corner.
Strike three call. Middlebrooks takes it on the corner and strikes out for the second time tonight. It's time for an Essence Sports Today update with Elle and Jamie. Back here in New York, where the Red Sox are holding on to a 4-3 lead, with one out in the top of the seventh inning. And Christian Vasquez coming up. Vasquez 0 for 2. It's grounded out and flied out. Action for New York again. The pen busy. Sean Kelly back up again, but he's now been joined by Josh Outman. Lots of options now out there in the pen for Joe Girardi. We get into that pen after just 4 1/3 from his starter tonight. Chris Capuano is charged with all 4 Red Sox runs and currently on the hook for New York. Strike evens a count at 1-1. It's Vasquez now, Holt next. There's a Red Sox bat here in the 7th inning. Tommy Lane up in the Red Sox pen. Outside for ball 2. Vasquez out towards left center field. Brett Gardner on the run will not get there. One hops the wall, and Vasquez into second base with a one-out double. Breaks up a string of 7 in a row retired by Yankees pitching. First hit of the night for Vasquez. Long way out there to the gap in left center.
Yeah, 399 out to that bullpen area, and Vasquez, we haven't seen him pull the ball very much on this road trip, but certainly does here. He gets a fastball in and runs it to the through a 399.
So the pitching change that's tonight for Rogers. Step aside from Yankee Stadium with the Red Sox on top 4-3. To break down Brandon Workman's start and have John Farrell's post-game comments. You can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason. One down here in the 7th inning with Christian Vasquez at second base. Brock Holt with a swing and a miss for strike one. Holt with a home run back in the 5th inning. Just over the Astros glove of Ichiro, and they made a nice catch in shallow right center field. This is back to the plate. Josh Outman into the game here with one out. Popped up foul off to the left out of play. Outman takes over for Rogers, his 33rd appearance between Cleveland and New York. 4-0 with a 3.28 earned run average. 24 strikeouts, 16 walks. And opponents hitting at .242 against Outman.
He's got that old style, doesn't he, of stirrups?
Yep.
Don't see that very much anymore. Most players now have their pants right down to the toes on their shoes.
You had the stirrup look going, didn't you, for the most part? No?
What's that?
You had stirrups going for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. On the ground right side, Stephen Drew to his left. Throws out Holt, but the runner moves along. Vasquez takes third base with 2 outs in the inning. And Joe Girardi out there again. So you got Mookie Betts coming up, and you'll have a new Yankees pitcher coming in. 4-3 Boston.
As 155 pounds, and if you look closely, about 55 of those pounds are because of that thick, fat gold chain that hangs around his neck. It was actually a present from his father when he cracked into the Red Sox system, and I know before the game he was kind of talking how it kind of has these sort of powers, I guess. We're going to go with it. And case in point, it helped out two of his high A Salem teammates last season. David Chester, Matt Gedman were both slumping, so on back-to-back nights, Mookie Betts let him wear the chain. Chester went 3 for 4 with a home run. The very next night, Gedman went 3 for 3 or 4 for 4. Mookie Betts couldn't really remember, so he said, all right, that's enough of that. He took back the chain, and I know baseball players, they're super superstitious, but nevertheless, before the game, I asked him, because sometimes even sideline reporters, we fall into a little bit of a slump, to wear the chain, and he obliged, fortunately. He actually let me wear the chain. I gave him the microphone. It was kind of weird. We actually both felt sort of naked because we weren't really used to, wearing each other's, his chain and the microphone in his hand. So it only lasted for a couple of seconds. Betts says he's never taken it off. He doesn't take it off when he's working out, when he's sleeping, or when he's showering. The only time he takes it off is during the off season.
Out of all of that, I am amazed that sideline reporters go into slumps too. I didn't know that. That's new information. Gary, you haven't
what's the new information right there?
The sideline reporters go into slumps. I've not seen you go into a slump ever. Gary.
Sometimes we can't formulate sentences, things like that. You know how it goes.
Well, you were flawless there,
yeah,
and
really
that's
good.
Because you had the chain on this afternoon.
I did have the chain on, and I was kind of worried that, all right, Mookie, you have to get a hit tonight because, listen, if you put up an 0 for 4, 0 for 3, whatever the case may be, everybody's going to blame the fact that you actually took off the chain for the first time this season. So, thankfully, he bailed me out in his second at-bat, and hopefully he can continue to do so right here. I got my fingers crossed.
All right, Gary, he's 1 for 3 tonight. That single you mentioned back in the third inning came around to score the second Red Sox run. Now ground ball left side to short. Jeter's got it. His throw is going to be just in time to get Mookie Betts. And to end the inning, Red Sox leave a runner at third, 7th inning stretch, 4-3 Boston.
night is done, but what a good night it was. Gave up the 2-run double here to Derek Jeter, but settled down nicely after that. Had a very good curveball working for him tonight. There's the curveball. Also a cut fastball inside the Ichiro to get him on strike 3. So all in all, I think a very good outing for Workman in this ball game tonight.
The game summary brought to you by Xfinity. The line for Workman. David Ortiz has also had a big night tonight. 2 for 3, 2 home runs. 32 home runs now in the year for him. And a home run for Brock Holt, the go-ahead run. Chris Capuano on the hook for all 4 Red Sox runs. And Derek Jeter driving in a pair of runs. 1 for 3 tonight. Last half of the 7th inning back at Yankee Stadium. And a new pitcher for the Red Sox, Tommy Lane, into the game. For Lane, his 19th appearance of the year, 1-1 with a 0.66 earned run average. 13 2/3 innings, 10 strikeouts to 6 walks. And opponents hitting at 152 against Tommy Lane. And it looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter coming up here for New York. Zealous Wheeler is going to pinch hit here for Stephen Drew. Drew had been 0 for 1 with a walk. So Wheeler to pinch hit here for Stephen Drew. Drew was at second base, and the Yankees coming to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. Wheeler 244, 2 homers and 4 runs batted in. Pinch hitting to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. He'll take ball 1. Wheeler's not played in the first 2 games of the series. 3 hits in his last 12 at bats. Called from AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre on the 21st of August. Made his major league debut back on July the 3rd for the Yankees at Minnesota. 82 games at AAA with Scranton Wilkes-Barre, hitting at .296. 9 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Double-barreled action in the Red Sox pen. Red Sox into the pen for the first time tonight. Ball 4 on 4 pitches. Wheeler goes down to first base with a walk to begin the inning. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, now offers walk-in urgent care in Chestnut Hill. It's open 10 hours a day for minor emergencies. For more information, go to bidmc.org/Chestnut Hill.
I'm sure Ichiro will probably be bunting here, trying to get that man in scoring position, down by a run late in the ball game. Middlebrooks in very tight at third base.
Antone Richardson pinch running at first base, and Ichiro lets the first one go by for ball 1. Yankees debut for Richardson. Ichiro with a single in the 3rd, a strikeout in the 4th. And on the grass at 3rd is Middlebrooks, anticipating that bunt. And he squares again, but pops it up back and out of play. Not a good bid there, 1-1.
Yeah, pitch a little bit too high to get down on the ground. Got to get the barrel of the bat above the baseball. That time Ichiro did not. The barrel was underneath the baseball and pops it foul.
He'll try it again, and he fouls it off again. 1-2.
Surprising. It's surprising. You know, a guy that at the beginning of his career was a very good bunter. A lot of bunt base hits. Now having a tough time getting a sacrifice down.
We'll see as good as he has been over the years at this, whether or not he tries it again, even with the 2 strikes. Throw to first base, back to the bag is Richardson. Swinging away and fouling it off. Tommy Lane pitching Tuesday night, first game of the series, went an inning and a third. He's one batter in the 7th to end the inning, stranding an inherited runner, then threw a scoreless 8th inning against New York. And now 15 of his 18 games with the Red Sox have been scoreless. Big Dellin Betances in the pen for New York. 6'8" right-hander. Ichiro chops it down the first baseline, foul. Don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU Digital Federal Credit Union, tomorrow at 6:30. TC and Wake will preview the 3-game series with the Blue Jays coming up. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Runner goes and a liner to center. Betts will make the catch, got a chance to double him up. Throw is going to be in time. Double play. So they send the runner, the liner to center for the first out, and then Betts able to double up Richardson at first base. 2 down in the 7th inning.
Oh, everything had to work together right there. You got Betts playing shallow because Ichiro's hitting. You got him shading over there in that direction. Momentum coming in toward first base. All the way in the air, and the easy double play. The runner Richardson actually went around second, had to re-tag. Ichiro could not get the bunt down to move a man in scoring position. Ends up lining into a double play.
Now Jacoby Ellsbury, the base is empty. Will take strike 1. Ellsbury has popped to short, walked and scored, popped out to second base. A little bit outside. Brendan Workman tonight, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 5. Tommy Lane now in to pitch the 7th. And a grounder up the middle. Bogart's behind the bag at second. Will throw out Ellsbury. And we head to the 8th with the Red Sox on top 4-3. Official Red Sox ticket partner has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Treat yourself or someone special. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 4-3. Red Sox holding on to a one-run lead. Tommy Lane. Nice job in the bottom of the 7th inning. On to the top of the 8th. David Ortiz leading it off here. And Sean Kelly. And Ortiz takes strike one. Brendan Ryan coming into the game at second base. And right now in the shift on the right side. Ortiz hits one in the air to center field. It'll stay in the yard. Ellsbury out there at center makes the catch for the first out of the 8th. Time for a Toyota game break in Tom Caron. TC. All right, Tom, thanks very much. Back here at Yankee Stadium in New York with one out here in the 8th inning. Red Sox holding on to a 4-3 lead here. And Yoenis Cespedes 0 for 3 in the game. He's grounded out to the mound, flied out to left on 2 occasions. Junichi Tozawa warming in the Red Sox pen. Looks like he will have the 8th. Ball 2-0. So far, Kelly missing inside and outside. Like Napoli waiting on deck. Gets a piece, fouls it off at the dish. 2-1. Coming in, Sean Kelly with 59 strikeouts in 44 innings and 49 relief appearances this season. 2-2.
And he throws hard, got a good fastball, good hard slider also. This fastball running back up and in on Cespedes.
Fouled off to the right out of play. Still 2-2. Red Sox took the lead in the 5th inning on a home run by Brock Holt. Not scored since. A bat with one out here in the 8th. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Cespedes strikes out, 2 down.
That's the hard slider we were talking about right there. Fastballs in, breaking balls away, and that at bat to Cespedes. Gets the chase one that's a little bit off the outside part of the plate.
Now 2 down. Napoli has 2 hits in the game tonight. A single to right, single to left before he flied out to center field in the 6th inning. Now a big swing and a miss at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Game 140 of the season tonight for Boston. Upstairs with a fastball missing for 1-1. Two-one is low and away. And Napoli in a 3-1 count. Full count now.
Napoli in a fastball mode right there, but didn't get it. Got a breaking ball. The hard slider. 3-1 sitting on fastball, doesn't get it.
Swing and a miss, comes back to strike out Napoli to end the top of the 8th inning. Head to the bottom of the 8th, 4-3 Boston. By the new Scion TC, Southwest Airlines, and by your Audi dealers of New England. Last half of the 8th inning back at Yankee Stadium in New York, where the Red Sox have a 4-3 lead. And Shinichi Tozawa comes on for Boston here in the last half of the 8th. 65th appearance of the year, 3-3. With a 3.00 earned run average, 59 strikeouts, 17 walks, and opponents hitting at .256 against Tozawa. Takes over for Tommy Lane to win an inning. No hits, no runs. He did walk a batter, did not strike anybody out. And relief, Brandon Workman. Yankees have double-barreled action. Adam Warren and the closer David Robertson up in the pen. Derek Jeter leads it off in the bottom of the 8th. Jeter to right center field. Back goes Craig. He'll have plenty of room as he makes the catch in front of the track. Crowd roars, but it's out number 1. Attention Red Sox Nation, there's a reason why the Boston Red Sox and the rest of America run on Dunkin', because our coffee is consistently smooth and delicious. Dunkin' Donuts coffee is the #1 coffee in New England. So when you want the best coffee in town, there's only one choice, Dunkin' Donuts. Boston Red Sox run on Dunkin'. 1 out in the 8th inning. Brett Gardner 1 for 3 in the game, a double back in the first inning. Since a double, a strikeout, and a pop out. The Yankees left fielder. On the grass, stride at third, Middlebrooks. Gardner's got that possibility always of dropping down a bunt. Very good speed. In there for a strike in. He can turn a single into a double in a hurry with a stolen base.
And he's had a number of pitches tonight that have not been strikes, but called strikes against him. But he doesn't want to make any noise against this crew that has already thrown him out of a ball game.
Right side, couple of hops to Brock Holt. 2 down here in the 8th. You ever get the feeling an entire crew does not like you?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I know when an entire crew just didn't like me. Oh, yeah. And they told me they didn't like me.
They shared their opinions about you?
They told me that they were going to get me, and they got me. They're the only crew that got me from when I was drag bunting for being out of the batter's box.
Wow. How about that? Because they weren't going to get you, and they got you.
They told me right in the runway, right on the way to the field. They would get me. And that night I bunted, and they called me out. It's the only time it happened in my career.
They just didn't like you.
They hated me.
2 down here in the 8th. Carlos Beltran will take ball 1.
I got down to first base, and the umpire said there's good news and bad news. The bunt went foul, but the bad news is you were out of the batter's box.
Wow.
You're out. And I was out of the game pretty shortly after that.
You said some stuff, did you?
Yes, I did.
And of course, different then. You had just American League umpires.
Right.
You see those guys some more over the course of the year.
Right. There were guys that you just had a personality, bad relationship with.
Conflict.
Yeah. And there are other guys you got along great with. I mean, but for whole crew, yeah, this whole crew hated me. They really did.
Pitch for a strike over the inside corner, and it's 2-1. You got to feel like if you are Brett Gardner, looking at all the pitches he's looked at and getting ejected in game 1 of this series, this is not some strikes that have been called strikes on him. This series. He's got to feel like this crew does not like him.
Well, I got to tell you, but he's got to be careful. He can't say much to him because he's already been thrown out.
To his credit,
right?
He hasn't at all. Two-one pitch. Miss inside, and it's 3-1.
And one of the guys in that crew was just a horrible umpire. Horrible.
Want to throw his name out there?
No. I would never do that. He stunk.
Balls and strikes are just in general bad umpire.
Everything. His attitude.
Everything.
It's like he didn't want to be out there.
And he didn't like you.
me. I couldn't stand me.
3-1 the count to Carlos Beltran. Shift on the right side here for the Red Sox, but this time Bogaerts comes over to the right side. Fouled back, full count. Mark Teixeira on deck. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Fouled off to the left, out of play. So used to over the years Tazawa being automatic in the 8th. It's not always been the case this year, especially later in the season. Tazawa getting a lot of use. And really the same can be said for Koji Uehara as well. Total of 15 appearances in August. Popped up. Middlebrooks will backpedal to the outfield grass and make the catch. 1-2-3, 8th inning for Tazawa. 4-3 Boston on top. About baseball or their favorite Red Sox players? Now you can. Check out NESSICLubhouse.com. It has videos, games, and a whole lot more. It's fun, free, and easy to use. NESSICLubhouse.com. Four to 3. Red Sox have the lead over the Yankees as we head to the 9th inning. Adam Warren into the game for New York. 61st appearance, 2-5 with a 3.29 earned run average. 62 Ks, 22 walks, and opponents hitting at .239 against Warren. Koji Uehara up in the Red Sox pen. Getting ready for the bottom of the 9th inning. Teixeira, McCann, and Headley scheduled to bat for New York. But first, here are the Red Sox in the top of the 9th. And Alan Craig leading it off here for Boston. Craig walked in the second inning, struck out looking in the third, and grounded to short in the sixth. Little flare down the right field line, foul. Craig takes inventory on the bat. Make sure he didn't fracture it. Warren, the sixth Yankees pitcher of the night, takes over for Sean Kelly. Went an inning and a third, retired all 4 Red Sox he faced, 2 by way of the K. Inside, and Craig gets hit. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and he's aboard to begin things here in the ninth.
No way to go here for Alan Craig. Just take it off the elbow. Fortunately, he had a guard on that elbow, so that takes a little bit of the sting out of it.
The pinch runner looks like Jamal Weeks is going to pinch run. So Weeks at first base, and Xander Bogaerts the batter. They haven't Xander bunt here.
I would now, yes, because you can pinch hit now. You know, behind him. Two options of the bunt, straight out steal by Weeks.
They've already got a pinch hitter on deck behind him. Nava has come out and would bat for Will Middlebrooks. Xander fouling it back to the screen. First bid is a foul ball.
It's funny, you can tell he was bunting. He gives away the bunt when he goes to square around. His bat lays flatter on his shoulder than it does when he goes to swing.
As Nabu's come out on deck to bat for Middlebrooks.
Looks like a bunt again.
Jamal Weeks getting thrown out, picked off in Tampa Bay when he was pinch running last weekend. Bogaerts gets it down. The pitcher Warren, a little bobble, and he's going to get nobody. Everybody's safe. Sacrifice E1. Girardi is the look of a man who's coming out up with that top step, waiting for the introduction of Nava. Going back down the steps. He's going to send Larry Rothschild out.
There's the bunt back toward the pitcher. Pitcher just boxes this up. That's all there is to it. Tries it with his glove and kept the bare hand out of there. And then he can't make the play with the bare hand. And the Red Sox have first and second. See what I was talking about with the bunt with Bogaerts?
Yeah.
Notice how he has bat and just kind of lays flat around it. He's giving it away.
Right.
He's actually giving it away before it even happens. Just kind of lays it flat on his back. When he's hitting, he doesn't have the bat in that position.
Plate umpire Todd Titchener out there to break up the conference. Red Sox have the first two on here in the ninth inning, and Daniel Nava coming up. David Huff, a left-hander, up now for New York. They just got done with a huge conference, and now back out there again goes McCann.
I don't get it. I just don't understand it. Now they're probably saying, what sign do we use with the man at second base?
Under the grass at third, Chase Headley.
By the way, I would let Nava swing away.
He is, and he hits a fly ball to left field, playable for Gardner. Makes the catch, and nobody will be advancing. One out here in the ninth inning. Well, the Yankees in the midst of a wild card chase heading into this game tonight. 4 games back, tied with the Indians. And the Tigers for that American League wild card spot with the Mariners in between. Seattle's pitching has been tremendous.
They looked awfully good against the Red Sox back at Fenway Park. Like a club that's ready to play some postseason baseball.
First and second, one down. Christian Vasquez. Double to left center field to Gapper his last time up. Yes, he takes strike one. Outside, 1-1. Yankees in the bottom of the ninth inning. Teixeira, McCann, Headley scheduled to bat. Strike two. Uehara getting ready. Worked Tuesday night here in New York. Gave up a home run to Brian McCann, the first batter that he faced. 1 innings, 2 hits, the 1 run. Ball 2-2-2. Craig got hit to begin the inning. Jamal Weeks running for him. Bogarts with a sacrifice bunt and an error charge to the pitcher, Warren. Nava flies out to left, so it's first and second, 1 down. Vasquez waiting on a 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Red Sox looking to obtain some insurance here in the top half of the ninth. Top of the order, Brock Holt on deck. Fouled off to the right, and the battle continues. Vasquez will see his 7th pitch in this at bat. Outside and low, full count. Weeks at second base. Xander Bogaerts at first, 1 out in the 9th inning. Vasquez hits it on the ground towards short. The runners were off, so Jeter has no play at second. He goes to first. The only out he could get, and the runners move up to second and third. So by starting the runners there, they stay out of the double play.
Good idea right there to get those guys on the move and stay away from the double play. Vasquez actually got jammed a little bit. The ball not hit very hard, and Jeter had no other play but to go to first base. Now do they walk Holt with first base open and take their chances with Mookie Betts? Looks like they're going after Brock Holt.
Holt, the difference in the game, his solo home run back in the 5th inning. Otherwise, he's grounded out, flied out, grounded out. Home run, his 4th of the year, RBI number 29. Mookie Betts on deck, but there are 2 outs here in the 9th. Ball to strike to Holt. Inside, ball 2. Second and third, 2 down here in the 9th. On the ground right side, Brendan Ryan will throw out Holt and end the inning. The Sox grab 2 in scoring position, take a 1-run lead to the bottom of the 9th. Koji time. Big night for the Red Sox home run wise. David Ortiz with 2 home runs. Big Papi with a solo shot in the first inning, his 31st of the year. He'd had a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. Home run number 32 of the year. The game tied 3-3 in the top of the 5th. Brock Holt with a solo shot. It's the difference in the game. Just out of the reach of Ichiro off the top of the wall and into the seats. And it's 4-3 Boston. To the bottom of the 9th inning we go. Changes defensively for the Red Sox. Daniel Nava now into right field. Brock Holt moves from second base to third base. He's running over to get into the shift. And Jamal Weeks now at second base. New pitcher is Koji Uehara, the Red Sox closer. 61st appearance of the year, 6-4 with a 2.36 earned run average. 26 out of 30 on the year, and save opportunities. This is one. 75 strikeouts, 8 walks. Opponents hitting at .215 against Uehara. Teixeira leads it off, and he'll take ball 1. A single his last time up, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Shift for the Red Sox. Holt in short right field, even deeper than that, really. 2-0. Teixeira just 1 for 10 in his career against Uehara. As he takes the strike, 2-1. But the one part of the 1 for 10 is a home run. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
First split fingered fastball that he's thrown and dropped a little bit. Certainly had Teixeira off balance.
Ryan McCann on deck. As Teixeira rolls over on that, fouls it off. Teixeira staying in the box, waiting for Uehara. In the air to right field. Back goes Nava, and that ball is gone. We're tied. Teixeira's 21st home run of the year. Blown save for Uehara. Game tied.
Well, once again, I think this was the split-fingered fastball that did nothing. He has really been having a problem with a splitter. Let's take a look. That's what it is. And it just lays flat.
Now Brian McCann. Tuesday against Koji Uehara hit a home run of his own. Now here we are in the bottom of the 9th inning in a tie game. The strike evens it count at 1-1. And fouls it back. And a frustrating year for Teixeira, batting average wise especially. Coming in at .223 into tonight's game. And his 21st home run of the year has tied it up. Now McCann to left. Cespedes is there. And he makes the catch for the first out here at the bottom of the 9th. One out and Chase Headley coming up. fouled at the plate. Brandon Workman no longer part of the decision tonight. 6 innings, 3 runs. Tommy Lane a shutout inning. Shinichi Tozawa a shutout inning. Now Uehara has given up a run in the 9th as Headley takes ball 1. Robertson, the closer, warming in the pen in what is now a tie game. Two and one.
For whatever reason, Don, over the last 5 or 6 games, that split-fingered fastball has been gone from the arsenal of Koji Uehara. I mean, 1 out of every 6 appears to be a good one. That's the fastball, straight fastball at 88. Velocity is the same on the fastball, 88, 89. That's been consistent. But the movement on the splitter has not.
9 of the 17 runs he has allowed have come in now the last 6 games. Ryan waiting on deck. Headley to right field. Back goes Nava. The Yankees win. 2 home runs off Koji Uehara. He's not the same Koji right now. The Yankees walk off with the victory tonight in the Bronx.
Let's take another look, see if it is the split-fingered fastball. It is. It's flat. It's gone.
Chase Headley and the Yankees victorious tonight from New York 5-4. We'll step aside and get back with more right after this.